Hey, what's up? What's up? As promised, we on live,
Yep.
and we're gonna be talking about alternative lifestyles today. What you want to talk? What you want to tell the people? Oh, I want to start. Who you taking?
Myself. It said, "Do I want to
Yes.
tag?" Of course. I thought we already did that.
Right.
Okay. I'm
You
tagged.
probably gotta. So first, I want to start by saying that like we ain't no professionals, we not no experts at this stuff, but we are gonna be open and honest about what we do know, and I don't know. I just want to say that we're not no professionals.
Yes. We don't have the answers, and I think in most of our conversations, you're gonna see. Stop. You're gonna. We're just having a discussion about it, and you're more than welcome to join in on the discussion. So, because that's really all. We're just talking about it. That's what we do. We just talk about stuff. That's just a good thing.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what you
Anyway.
think about when you think about the phrase alternative lifestyles?
So when I hear alternative lifestyles, my first reaction, I need you to focus
okay,
right
I'm focused. I'm focused.
I think probably polygamy is probably the one that comes to mind.
They're coming. They're coming.
People are coming. Polygamy is probably the one that comes to mind for me first. That or like open marriages or open relationships. That's kind of the first things that come to my mind when I hear alternative lifestyles. What do you think about? What comes to your mind?
I think about Halloween.
I can't stand you.
No,
What is really? I can't stand you.
When I think about alternative lifestyle, honestly, I don't even think about anything like sex when I really think about alternative lifestyles, especially in Portland, because it could be so much stuff. And like
This is
for
true.
real, it could be
This is
so
true.
much just random shit. Like, so I really don't know. Another thing, if y'all ever watching our videos, like don't watch it with your kids, because I might ain't no telling what I say. I do not have my professional hat on. It's
We're adulting.
Yeah, it's not gonna be okay. But but if we talking about that though, if we talking about like more of like an intimate or sexual or anything like with like intimate partnership is definitely more like polygamy, or like really when I think about it, more like polyamorous LGBTQ and just really what I think about, especially here.
Yeah.
Here especially, that's what I think about before anything, really.
Okay. So, what do you think are some of the different reasons that people choose alternative lifestyles?
Because they nasty. I'm just telling you. No, when I say that, I don't say that in a bad way. But I think seriously, really though, I don't say that in a bad way. I think about like really though. When I think about like somebody who like for real, when I think about somebody who's gay. Who's gay, mind you. I'm not gay, I'm not curious. I thought about like seeing if like hold on, because like I've been in the middle of like all of the extra of the liberal, extra of the
Right.
of the social justice,
During your
extra of the I'm talking
schooling?
about exactly, and ain't no part about it. But what I do know is that I'm a freak. That's what I do know. Now I do know that if it's just something you just gotta be nasty as a motherfucker. I don't care. You gotta be freaky, and I'm saying that as a freak. I'm not saying it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Seriously.
I mean, I'm looking
saying
at you
that
like I
as
know
a
you're
freak.
not talking right now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying though, you got to be on another level to be, especially. I don't know. That's just my thinking. Maybe just because I'm a freak, so I'm like, you got to be nasty. If you just with another boy, and you just nasty. Yo ass nasty. But whatever, right? So that's what I really
And you're
think about.
not
So
saying nasty like
not in the bad
gross
way, yeah, not in the
nasty.
gross
You're
nasty.
just
Like you
saying-
just a freak. You like your
Can we
sex. How
just
you like your sex?
clarify here
Right.
that he's
I'm
not
not
saying
calling
like
people
you're
nasty.
disgusting nasty. He's
Thank
not.
you.
It's not like that.
Thank
no,
you.
no.
So that's what I think about. You just really highly sexual. You really freaky, for lack of a better term, and you just like your shit how you like your shit.
See, and I think that's part of the problem. When
And
we
people
get-
don't be
when we
honest
get
about it, though.
No, but when you just said that, like you're freaky and you're highly sexual and stuff like that. I think like when it comes to polygamy, that's the problem. Is that that's where people's minds automatically go.
Exactly. Well, and I do think, and that's why when like if I'm even being like honest, when like I had a conversation with somebody about it, and I was like, if people, my train of thought is that like people really want the sexual sensation of it, and like there's that piece of it that like overshadows it, and you could tell it is because it's not even talked about. They just you know what I mean. You gloss over that when you talk about any of it, like that don't got nothing to do with it. You got 30 kids. It's like, mother, you didn't get them kids by just going to work. You know what I'm saying? So you going to work, work.
He was going to work.
But yeah.
But she wasn't at your job.
What'd she say though? I'm done doing too much talking. I'm going to sleep.
No, I'm gonna need you to be focused. Okay. I don't know. We were talking about the different reasons that people want to live alternative lifestyles, in our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you think?
I don't know. I mean, in doing research and stuff like that, and just asking around, like I do have a friend that's like in one of those different, I don't want to say weird relationships, but one of those different relationships where it's like her and her husband are married, but then like they had another person that they were living with in the house, almost like a triad, where everyone's having sex with everybody. And then it didn't work out because she didn't get along with the female, and so they kicked her out of the house. But at this point, like, her husband is still messing around with this female. So it's, I don't know. It's just, I don't know why people would want that in their life. I think that it seems
how are you gonna wait till we on the camera to talk about it? You ain't never said that, huh? Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway,
we did all talking about that. Now you're gonna bring it up now, but hold on.
Anyway.
Pause. What? No, is that what? Go. Anyway, yeah.
Are we going?
Moving on. Yeah, moving on.
Okay.
On.
So, let's talk. Oh, so then there's a couple other ones that I think kind of come into the whole polygamous thing, sort of. There's a cellular family, which is like 3 or more adults living together in a household, and they share household responsibilities, and they consider themselves part of one single unit, and eventually they bring children into it. So I think it's probably something, in my head, I'm automatically going to think 2 men and a woman, but that's not necessarily the case. There could be 2 women, and we're talking about alternative lifestyles, Chase. So anyway, there's that. So let's talk about the difference between,
polygamy,
and polyandry. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way. Polyandry, or polyandrous relationships, are with one woman married to multiple men, and
that's a thing.
That is a thing. As a matter of fact, it's a thing in at least 4 regions.
People like to just act like it's this male-dominated thing. You know what I mean? Because that's what
definitely see benefits.
First, is that a fish? Carry on.
Okay, polygamy is where it is the male married to multiple wives. And then we have polygamy. So polygamy is actually the umbrella for both of those things. Polygamy is a lifestyle where one person could have multiple wives or multiple husbands. And so it's like the umbrella. We always say polygamy, and we refer to it basically as the men with multiple wives, but that's not the case. It's polygamy, that is the men. So polygamy is just all around, men and women.
You done? We want to know what the people really want to know. You ever been in a polygamous relationship? Don't be sitting up here lying. How you know? You wasn't the secret. You wasn't the secret third wife.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't.
Okay.
I've not knowingly been in a polygamous relationships. What about you?
I've been in 4 of them.
I'll stab you right now.
No.
Y'all about to witness.
I haven't been in a polygamous relationship. I've been in some interesting relationships, though. I'm looking.
Do you want to talk about it?
Not really. Ain't nothing to really talk about.
We can talk about
it. Ain't nothing to really talk about. It's just nasty.
We can talk about it later.
Huh? We can talk about it later. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, so one of the things. Do you want to talk about the benefits or the downfalls? I mean, it's really hard when we aren't really like in it to really talk about.
Right.
Like we could just assume. You know what I mean? But
so no, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
okay.
because you can see the benefits. You speak on that. Speak on the bit. That's a great segue.
Let's
speak
talk
on the
about
benefits
in
of
relation to the black. Shut.
In
relation to the black community.
Okay.
And black families. Let's talk about polygamy because it can go either way. Let's talk about that and how it could. What are some of the arguments about why it is something that's good for the black community? So a lot of the men, when at least when I was doing some reading up and stuff like that, a lot of our men are locked up. They're in jail. And the ratio of men to women is way higher. There's more women than there are men. And so...
What's the ratio? Can you remember?
Is it 3-1?
I don't know. I'm just trying to see how many more women I can. I'm sorry.
I need to replace this with something sharper.
I can't help it. Go ahead. For real. What's the...
Okay.
Go ahead. You're making a good point, though, for real. You're making a good point. Go ahead.
So there is some talk and speculation about that in order to forward our progress, that it would be beneficial to have a male with more than one woman for a few different reasons. Financial reasons is one of the main ones. You can have one that what?
Nothing. I'm listening. I'm letting you cook.
You can have one that stays at home and takes care of the kids while not going to happen. While the other woman and the man go to work. So this woman, she can take care of like all of the household duties, take care of the kids while you're away at work. Homeschooling is another one.
Yeah.
If you find someone that can do homeschooling or that's willing to do homeschooling, that's a benefit. Another thing that I saw is like you have one man and 3 women, and 2 of the women or 2 of the people in the household go to school and they get their degree while the other 2 are working. And then when they are done and they get their degree, then they come back and then they the other 2 basically go to school, but these 2 are helping them with their schooling so that it doesn't take as long to get the schooling done. And then you have 4 people with these degrees, which makes a household
so
with lots of money.
Yeah. Wanted to see now. I'm looking at it too, though. Now, I see that part. I really do see that part, and then I look at it from the side of like, what was I looking at? I think it was on one of the videos that we was looking at, and it was like, well, because there's people who are in open relationships and don't know it because they're just getting cheated on. And there's people who in swinging relationships because both of the people cheating on each other, and they, you know what I'm saying? But
swinging, everybody knows.
But I'm saying, but they don't. There's people who are in relationships with people and they just cheating on each other, and they instead of just being in a quote unquote open relationship,
they're both cheating on each other.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Or there's people, right? So it's like doing that alternative relationship kind of thing is like, well, you don't have to be doing all this cheating and lying and doing all this hurting people and whatever else you are passing around.
Yeah, they're both cheating. I don't even understand that.
But
I will say this: I cannot stand that argument. I cannot stand the argument that you should just go ahead and be in a polygamous relationship because men are going to cheat anyway. So you might as well.
Literally
that
say
is,
that.
they
people
say
literally
that all
say
the
it
time.
just like that.
Men are going to cheat anyway, so you might as well get some
crazy.
sort of a benefit out of it. And it's like, there's that whole conflict there because it's like, well, on one hand, that is kind of true. Like, men do like to stray off, and I don't know. They said that's a natural thing for men to automatically think about.
Says who?
A lot of people.
A lot of people. So that just make it science? A lot
Did
of people seen Jesus too.
Did I quote
You
a
just
scientist?
said, hold on. I'm just saying. You talking about a lot of people, so that's kind of true. A lot of people say Kanye West is very intelligent.
Okay. I don't think you're listening to understand. I think you're listening to respond right now.
Oh, I listened and I understood exactly what your ass said. But go ahead.
I don't like that argument because there is that internal conflict because there's like, on one end, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess that there's a high chance, and that's my personal feelings. There's a high chance that a man will stray. Do I want to benefit from that, or do I want to say, no, actually, I deserve somebody who just wants to be with me? So I guess it's just a matter of personal opinion. If you feel like you want to benefit from some man wanting, I guess you would have more control.
Benefit, though? What do you mean
would
when
have
you say
more
benefit?
Control because of the whole. If in a polygamous relationship, you have the financial.
I got you. Right.
So I mean, I guess it just depends on what you're willing to deal with, what you're okay with, what you're willing to sacrifice. I will say this: I can't stand it when people say that you're selfish if you don't want to be in a polygamous relationship.
You're selfish. You don't want to be in a polygamous relationship.
I'll punch you right now. I don't know why you want to fight with me. I don't
wanna
even know
wrestle.
Because listen, you know,
not right now.
This is not a good. This is not good.
Okay. Moving right along.
Thank you.
So I mean the downfalls I think too though could be just like obvious stuff like trust issues, things not working out, insecurities, people leaving for other people. Like I could see a lot of bad stuff happening with all of it. Whether you doing swinging, whether you doing like we bringing in another person.
I don't know about swinging because swinging is like one of those things where it's like, hey, we're gonna go over to the Smith's house and have a little fun, and then we're gonna come home and pretend like it never happened.
If that's your stuff, though, but
that you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about there being a connection developed there.
That too.
In a polygamous relationship,
going out for cocktails and some cock.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you getting some cock.
I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I can't help.
But you made me lose what I was talking about. In a polygamous relationship, that is a valid concern. Like, is he or she going to develop a relationship and a bond with this other person? And is that going to take away from me and my connection with them?
And it's really it's really a
the
fascinating.
People can't see you.
It's really a fascinating argument though. That one right there it really is. It really is. But for time's sake.
But let me just say this. Let me just say one more thing about that. Because if that's the case, and yes, they are building a bond with this other person, then someone's left hurt. However, if that's not the case and they're not building a bond with the other person, then that other person ends up getting hurt. So it's
how?
We're gonna get into that.
No, I'm just saying, like, what if that person is not?
I think that it is. I think at least for women, I think that it is natural for us to bond with someone that we are being intimate with on a regular basis. I think that's just a natural thing that we do. Most women. I cannot speak for all women.
So mean to me? Why you? Okay.
Stop
Okay. No, I understand that. I dig it. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Anyway, so I want to know, can women, hi Nona, can men take polygamy seriously without first thinking about all of the pussy that they're going to get? Because really, when you first mention polygamy, that's automatically where people go as they think about the sex thing. And for men, because it's usually the men that we're talking about, and they're with multiple wives, we're thinking about that's really what you want is just a bunch of different pussy.
Well, I think that if somebody who haven't had a bunch of different pussy, maybe.
You're looking in the sky, which makes me feel like you're not being truthful right now.
No, I was thinking, I was just formulating my thoughts for real. Like somebody who, but like if I'm being honest, like whenever I was talking about it, I'm like, no, be honest. Most people do think that's what most people. No, I've had plenty of conversations.
Okay.
But a long time ago, long time ago.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Okay.
But then again, though, I do think that is always on the top of everybody's mind, because that's the top of the minds when women think about it, because women do think, well, who's going to be having sex? When are you going to have sex with everybody? How are you going to have sex with everybody? And then the men, low-key, obviously are thinking like, oh, well, when am I going to have sex? When am I going to have sex with everybody? Like, but that's not discussed.
Exhausting, though.
Feel me? That's not discussed, though. So that needs to be discussed. You can't just be like, hey, Beth, so I met Keisha, and she going to come over, or we going out tonight? You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a family thing. It can't just be, I'm doing this and like this is what it is. Like, it has to be almost a schedule, you know? Because what if you ain't everybody in the same house? You know what I mean? Like,
when I was watching, so there was this show on TLC called Seeking Sister Wives, and there was a black couple on there, and one of the things that was important was that when they were courting, that it was actually like the couple was courting this other person, and she needs to be invested just as much into the woman as the man. And that's not in an intimate way, like having in a sexual way, but just the fact that like they need as bonding and creating a unit that is going to work together as a family. That was what was important. She needed to be just as committed to the woman as she was to the man. So I mean, I guess
I didn't notice that one. That one come from?
It was out in the living room. So I mean, there is that part. But so there was a study that was done and worldwide, and so they did a study of 149 different societies. 708 of them are polygamous. 4 are polyandrous, and then only 137 are monogamous. And then I saw this map. So there's a map that says basically like different levels of what's accepted. So basically in the whole North America and South America continent, for the most part, it's not accepted at all. There's a couple places where it's like they're looking into it, but it's just it's illegal or it's not accepted. Then you go over into Africa, and there was all of the countries except for one. Literally, there was one where it was like, no, you cannot do this. The rest of them were like in the blue, which is like polygamy is acceptable. And then Europe is, I don't know, not so much. But anyway, I was really surprised at how many in Africa were okay with it. Because there's this whole debate like polygamy is natural. It started in Africa. That's how our ancestors lived. And then there's this whole argument where like, no, that's what's the word? Patriarchal. So disgusting.
But the thing about, but also like when I was doing some reading, I also heard somebody only found one article actually, and it was trying to say that no, ancient Africa and traditional Africa was actually monogamous, and I wish I could think about their arguments. I think their arguments were literally about like burials. Like they talked about burials, and some of the burials being like it was like somehow like this was my husband, this is my wife type thing. Like that's what they used or something like that. And that was the only one I found like that. And then there's plenty of them that talks about like different parts of Africa where it was like polygamous was the thing. And the best argument that I heard was like back in like ancient Africa and traditional Africa, like land was a big part of showing wealth. Like to show wealth, you had a lot of land, and then you had a lot of like workers working the land. Therefore, the bigger your family, the more workers you had on your land. So it was actually a sign of prestige. And what happened, similar to how nowadays somebody could just have a regular 9 to 5 getting minimum wage, but they'll buy a bunch of Jordans and nice clothes, so they looking. So in a similar way, like poor people would have multiple wives, so they could have this facade of like they got wealth because they have all these wives and all these kids and stuff. So that was just an interesting aspect to it. And bringing it to modern times, the argument is like, well, a polygamous relationship doesn't fit with modern times. Like you don't have a bunch of land to till. You know what I mean? Like you can't, having 30 kids, having 19 kids makes no fucking sense, right? Like how are you gonna take care of them, right? Like even if you got 4 wives with two good jobs apiece, like you got all them kids, what are you gonna do? So that kind of makes sense, right? So it is a lot of stuff that goes into it. You can't just wing it and say like I'm gonna be in this polygamous relationship. But matter of fact, you do what you want to. How many can I?
You can have me. That's it. I'm all the woman you need.
I know, but
Anyway.
You're all I need.
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you right now?
Okay. What we talking about?
So, the last thing that I want to talk about, unless you've got some more that you want to talk about, is the argument, can polygamy heal the black community?
That shit sounds stupid. I mean, when you put it like that, no, for real, no. Like, when you phrase it like, can polygamy heal the black community? Fuck no. Like, let's just be very clear about that. Because think about that. When you just say that, like, the black community, like, is so fucked up, to say that can polygamy heal the black community, negative. No part of polygamy can heal the black community.
I think that this, so I read this whole, I scanned through the article because I couldn't.
You couldn't tolerate it? Go ahead.
Couldn't do it.
Tell me about it.
But I think that in the article, it was like, it could heal the black community if everyone's mindset was like this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
You're right.
And so that like, it's not.
Because Jesus could heal the black community if everybody's mindset was set on, woke up this morning with my mind set. Oh, anyway. But, yeah, if everybody's mind woke up set up.
There you go, folks.
But
Evening entertainment.
It sounds like it.
But yeah, so would you stop? So I think
What's
it was
up,
the whole thing about if people's mindsets were different, and the whole if people weren't so egotistical and selfish, because that's the huge argument about why people don't want to deal with polygamy. So I know for me, I don't have a problem with polygamy, and I think if people listen, I don't have a problem with polygamy if it's if people are in the right mindset and it works for them. And
motherfucker, what's your mindset?
Not there.
God damn it.
The last part that I wanted to say,
the last
part that I wanted to say about that is, I don't have a problem with polygamy or polygyny or whatever. It's just not for me. And some people have a harder time dealing with that than others.
Who you talking about?
Huh?
Who that's for?
What are you talking about?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about polygamy?
How do I feel about it?
Correctly.
What do you mean correctly? How do I feel about it?
No, really, honest to goodness. Like, what do you think about polygamy or polygyny?
Honestly, I don't know. I really have mixed feelings about it.
What do you think are some of the benefits?
I think the way I looked at it, and we actually talked about it. The way I would look at it is, it was like actually somebody who was like a homemaker, right? Somebody who was like there with the kids, like did like homeschooling and stuff like that, to like actually build something, build like a personal empire, like a family unit, but also like have saving space for us to like do communal work too. Something like that. That's how I see it. Not like having like 13 wives, like 5 wives and like 20 kids. You know what I'm saying? Not no shit like that. So
you're telling me if I came with 4 other women, like beautiful women, smart women, and said to you, this is, they want to move in and build an empire with us, you gonna say no?
Like how though? Like for real? Like I'll be like how? Okay,
like how?
At first I'll be like, right, for real, like literally, like okay, where we sleeping? You know, for real though, like where y'all sleeping? First of all, like simple logistics stuff. What is your profession?
Don't think you're being. I don't think no, you're
for real.
Truthful.
What is your profession? What you gonna do?
Are
they just hoes? Are they prostitutes? Are we just pimping now? Like
hoes to you.
I'm just saying. So what are they doing? What are they?
I just told you that these are beautiful black women. They're smart. They have degrees.
You didn't say all that. You didn't say all that.
They can have babies.
You didn't say all that. You just adding
shit.
Like, I just need some details.
I'm just saying, like,
you just can't tell me that somebody coming and they just coming.
Like,
I need some details.
Want to build an empire with us. What do you want to do?
What's their nationality? Is they chocolate? Is they caramel? Is they light bright, almost white? Like I need all the details. That's all you need to know. Is they charcoal?
It doesn't matter. They're black.
Okay. Huh?
All shades of black.
What they look like? Is they short, tall, thick? I need to know because we got tears. It's
point is, he's not going to say no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't worry, I'm not gonna ever do that. So
Never?
never.
One? Damn. Just you talking about 4 or 5 of them. Just
one.
like,
I bring me to you. That's all you need.
Damn. You say it like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the next question?
That's it. I
Huh?
don't think I have
Is
any
that
more
it?
questions. Yeah.
Is that it? I know we did a lot of talking about polygamy and stuff, but that's not the only lifestyle. Because people be like, y'all. I don't want to say it in a mean way, but y'all download brothers. Y'all still y'all need to stop playing. Y'all know who y'all is. I'm just saying.
That reminds me.
That's some shit.
So,
That's an alternative lifestyle, you motherfuckers. You name for real. Y'all, this 2018. Everybody gay and lesbian and shit. Y'all need to stop playing, breaking sisters and bringing them shit for real. And y'all sisters, I don't know. Do they got down low sisters who be like munching on pussy and shit on the low?
I told you that.
I know. Low key, if I was a woman, I'd be a down low like receiver. One of them, I'd be like,
here's the thing. I do have at least.
She got all her friends. See, she got all her friends. She got all the little friends.
Definitely are catchers.
Damn it, they're not dream catchers.
They're definitely catchers.
Oh no,
They're not throwers. They're catchers.
Damn it.
So, I am not one of them. That's just not for me. I don't want any woman touching on me in an intimate sort of way.
Huh?
Sorry. There's a lot of women who want to, but I'm just saying, no.
Don't worry, y'all. I'm gonna slip her ass a roofie.
Okay, Cosby. Okay, go Cosby.
Okay. I ain't got nothing else.
But does that make you gay? So if you're in a relationship, so let's say you're in a it's not a polygamous relationship if everybody's having sex with each other. In my understanding, that's a different kind of relationship.
Right. Yeah, facts.
So let's say you've got one man and 2 women. If the women are having sex with each other, does that make them gay?
Oh, that's not gay.
Or does it just make them bi? Or is it just a whole different lifestyle where it's like, I'm really not, like, I wouldn't mess with any other woman, but this is the woman that's here in this relationship.
It's whatever they want it to be. And that's the thing. Remember we was kind of talking about that earlier? Like, I could wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I'm no longer a man. I want to identify as a woman. And don't change anything about myself. I'm still rocking my dreads. You know what I mean? I'm working out, dressing the same. But I say, I'll identify with a woman. And people are like, you know what? I'm glad you came out. You know what I mean? You're this beautiful trans or whatever black man. But then when I say I want to be in this polygamous relationship or I want to be in this swing relationship, it's like, oh, you're nasty. It's like, hold on. But I could damn near sleep with an animal and be normal. But if I say I want to be in this different lifestyle with having multiple women or multiple men, now it's a problem. Like, you just can't have it both ways. That don't make no sense.
Right. But I think that people are quick to accept like gay and lesbian relationships, bisexual relationships, transgender relationships. I mean, they're more likely to accept that, I think, than when you talk about a polygamous relationship, because I think it has to do with self-respect, and I think that there's this image that somebody's being hurt in that relationship, in that type of a relationship, that somewhere there's somebody that's being hurt, and we're dealing with real human emotions. So of course there's going to be some feelings of jealousy and of hurt at times. I mean, I know the last thing I want to do is hear my husband in the next room having sex with another woman. Like, that's not cool. Right. You know? Yeah. So, I mean, of course that's going to bring up some feelings. It's really hard for me to watch any kind of program or any kind of documentary where they're talking about polygamy or polygamy and seeing that the woman's like A-okay with it. It's just really hard for me to even fathom somebody being okay with their husband marrying and sleeping with another woman on a regular basis.
Well, you're gonna have to get over it.
No, I really don't. I know where the door is. Anyway.
You finished?
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done too. I feel like it was something else we were supposed to talk about.
The benefits, the reasons why people do it.
Where did that?
Polyandry. Can you take it serious?
Yeah, no, we did. Yeah, that's everything we talked about.
We talked about.
What's our next one gonna be on? We got a lot of stuff. It should be on something pro-black.
Well, I know we were going to talk about if a business is a black-owned business.
Oh, keep it to yourself. Nope, don't even say it. Don't even say it.
Okay.
Anyway, we done.
That could be one.
That could be one.
Yeah.
It should be one. Did you make sure?
What?
I'm done.
I'm done.
Peace, y'all.
Thanks for listening. Enjoy your evening. Feel free to leave your comments. See you later.